saying that a number of those that were interested, the House was interested to see, in particular, Mr. Richard Lukindo, Mr. Philemon Mwambingu, Mr. Thomas Njuma, and Madam Eunice Ndelejai Mchikirwa, they would not appear. Well, the rest appeared. The 4 did not appear, and the letter was done to us. However, the House, in its wisdom, had to adjourn that sitting because the House felt that the persons that were left out were actually, I believed, to hold very, very important information to this process, so could not proceed. Therefore, a date as this was recommended. Apparently, again, a date like this today, the assembly is very busy. It's so much held up with a lot of business, and we feel that the assembly feels that we may not exhaust the matter in a sitting as now, and we had 2 issues. Number 1, failure to appear, failure to honor the invitation. We needed to understand some of these powers, where you are sourcing them from, and then we understand then why not appear, and then now we get into the bottom of the matter that was under deliberation. That is the World War I issue. But I understand members had reservations, but in a few minutes, we would like to understand, because the whole fuss was brought by this letter of failure to appear. And Mr. Pamphile Moshinga, the Private Secretary and Chief of Staff, maybe the letter that we have, do we confirm indeed came from you? Please be unanswered.
Yes, it did.
You can kindly sit. Okay. We're having an engagement.
Yeah, so it did come from me. The letter came from me.
Thank you. So, kindly, Sergeant, supply Mr. Pamphile Moshinga with article, with the Constitution of Kenya. I have a smaller copy here, so that it reads to us Article 195, what it says, and also have a copy of his letter. He matches also and tells us what he thinks of this whole process.
Can I
proceed?
Okay. So Article 195 says the county assembly power to summon witnesses. Number 1, a county assembly or any of its committees has the power to summon any person to appear before it for the purpose of giving evidence or providing information. Number 2, for the purpose of clause 1, an assembly has the same powers as a high court to 1 or A, to enforce the attendance of witnesses and examining them on oath, affirmation, or otherwise. B, compel the production of documents And C, issue a commission or request to examine witnesses abroad.
So supply him also with his letter. And confirm indeed the letter is yours with that signature.
Yeah, the letter is mine.
So kindly read it for us, then interpret with what the Constitution says.
It's written to the clerk regarding invitation to a meeting with Richard Lukindo, Philemon Mambingu, Thomas Juma, and Eunice Delijain Chikiwa. Reference is not to your letter dated 12th June 2023, TTCA stroke admin 329 volume 2, 0340. As much as the County Assembly is desirous of setting high standards of personal integrity among the holders of public office, the subject matter of your agenda is under investigation by Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Therefore, the mentioned officers will not be in attendance. Signed by me.
So, in view of those, that letter and the Constitution, kindly give us the reasons for you doing the letter, which actually in its intent misled the House.
Okay, we actually looked at the matter and we realized the matter was actually under investigation by the same ESCC. And personally, and together with my colleagues, we felt probably, now that the matter was still under investigation, we thought that we'd rely on that particular process to end. But after which, what happened, which now has brought us here today, I came to learn that probably it was an oversight, for which I apologize.
So now that you misled the House and in this conduct, do you still think that you are fit to hold the office you're holding? If you cannot easily interact with some pieces of legislation.
I indeed agree that the legislation is there and it's there to be respected, but at the same time, it was my imagination, which seems to be not according to the House and according to the law, that probably would be allowed to wait until the process is completed by ESCC. But again, I think, I think, as I've said earlier, learning is a process. So somehow I've come to learn and I'm sorry for it.
Thank you. Mr. Thomas Njumwa. Why didn't you appear to the County Assembly?
Honorable Chair, the members, the reason we didn't appear is the same as the one given by the Chief of Staff. We all thought that since the matter was still under ESCC, that it was imprudent for us to appear. But we have learned that it was wrong, we were mistaken, and we apologize.
Mr. Richard Lukindo, why did you choose not to honor the invitation of the County Assembly?
Honorable House, as the Chief of Staff has stated,
kindly address the chair. Everybody should address the chair. If you start addressing individual members, a fight might erupt in here.
okay, the Chair and the Honorable House, as the Chief of Staff has stated, we apologize because of the reason that the Chief of Staff has given.
Proceed, Mr. Philemon Mambingu, or closer to you is Eunice, Madam Eunice. Already have the mic. Mr. Philemon, proceed. Why didn't you honor the invitation?
Honorable Chair, we did not choose not to honor the invitation. But as the COS has explained, it stands. However, the communication which was done from your end, it was done a day actually some few hours to the next day. So clearly I couldn't make it because I was out of the county.
So your reason is different.
It's the same, but mine has another extra reason. The reason is the same.
Madam Eunice, I'll open to the members. Members, kindly hold. Madam Eunice.
Honorable member, Mr. Chairman, my reason is that of the Chief of Staff. I stand advised. We were advised that it is, should I say, imprudent for us to come for the sitting, and yet the matter was being investigated by the EACC. But we learn that that is not the case, and the two do not. I don't know.
So who advised you, madam? Who advised you?
Oh, it's sort of. I can't.
You said you were advised. Who advised you? We want to know.
No, I was the only one.
The intention actually is to know who came up with this idea.
No, it was not someone who came up with it. As a team, we, the four of us, because we're the ones who went, we're the ones who are under investigation, and the Chief of Staff, all of us, we were there. So it's not a matter of who advised, but it was seen that it was not right for us to come, and yet we were still under investigation. We thought maybe the mistake was thinking that EACC might be like a court.
Thank you. It is very, very interesting. Senior members of the county executive, Chief of Staff, a political advisor, economic advisor, the man of protocol, and director, communications. All of these were acting in total ignorance. And these are the people that sit to advise the governor. These are the first people, first doorstep to advise the governor. And all of them failed in thought or in knowledge about application of law on this particular matter. Interestingly, the county assembly vetted and approved a county attorney. We'll invite him. This thing is not ending today. We'll also bring in the county attorney here to come and tell us what is his job, or whether his counsel was sought or not. Because what we are hearing is just purely what can be termed as balderdash. Because you can't just take the house, rounds, and we expect from us that we take it lightly. A clear indication is showing that two people sat somewhere or called and agreed that we are not going because of this. But now we are stuck. These are senior county officers whose primary role is to advise the governor and can fall short of some, matters to do with law, and yet we have a county attorney. I think members are equally lost. But anyway, let me open for 3 chances this side and 3 chances this side, my left. Then we can give a ruling. Honorable Patricia.
Mine goes to Eunice and Juma. You say that you thought coming to the assembly is imprudent, but for a fact is you not choosing to honor coming to the assembly is the imprudent. And I won't be wrong if I say that was a deliberate move. I think that's what I have to say. So these guys, they were deliberate on not honoring to come to the house. And if they were advised, because if you're being told about something, someone must have advised you not to come to this house. Mention that person. Thank you.
You've squandered your chances. Oh, sorry. Mheshimiwa Constance.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. When we went through your documents, this goes to Thomas Njuma. We could not see the names of the people who are picking the interest. There was just figures on the left side, but the names of the people who picked the money was not there. How was it done?
Thank you, Honorable Constance. Allow the chair to guide that we handle the content first. We handle the content first. And if they are not careful, we'll hang them. This house will hang them. Because we start from that. Then now we get into the issue that they're telling us is with ESC. So maybe you hold your question till next when you get there. Honorable Mzuga, Deputy Majority Leader.
Thank you so much, very much, Bwana Chair. Maybe I'll still insist, Chair, that our brother Pamphile said he thought it wise to do this. But there's so much rumors outside there of some statements from either them or proxies about we were appointed by the governor. What powers does Assembly have on us? That's so much rumor, Komitandao and elsewhere. So I still feel there is more than it meets the eyes. We need to know the person who advised Mr. Pamphile to write that letter. Thank you, Bwana Chair.
Final one from my right, Honorable Majority Whip, our ranking member.
Asante sana Bwana DS. Mimi mambo yangu ni mawili, na sana sana inaenda kwa ndugu yangu Pamphile, rafiki yangu mkubwa sana. Na tena Bwana Chair, nataka hawa ndugu zangu wajue tumefanya nao kazi pamoja na tunaheshimiana sana. Bwana Pamphile, on that particular day when you are invited to appear in this house,
were there ESCC officers who are maybe still interrogating you on that particular day and particular time you are supposed to report to this house? Were there ESCC officers? Maybe they are the ones who made you not to appear here. And then another question still comes to you. When you received that invitation, did you consult? Did you maybe consult your boss, either it is in order, it is proper to appear here or not, or you just made your own decision? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. You keep taking what is required of you, because I'll be hitting back to you so that you give response of the issues that have been raised. Honorable Anissa.
Asante sana mwenyekiti. Nagusia mawasiliano ambayo kama County Assembly tulipata kutoka kwa ndugu wetu Pamphile. Ndugu wetu Pamphile aliwasiliana na Assembly kwamba hawa wamesimamishwa kazi kwa sababu zenye zilikuwa zinajulikana. Tena ndugu Pamphile anaandika barua kwa niaba ya hao kwamba hawezi kuja kwa sababu hili jambo liko kwa uchunguzi. Lakini kuna gap hapo. Bwana mwenyekiti, nitaomba mwelekeo wako. Sijui alikuwa anawakilisha kivipi, manake kama mtu amesimamishwa kutoka kufanya utendaji kazi ama kufanya kazi mahali, then yule aliyobaki kwa sababu ni mzungumzaji ama mwelekezi wa serikali hana jukumu ama chochote kufanya na wale, kwa sababu sasa sheria inachukua mkondo wake. Pamphile, ndugu yangu, sijui aliandika barua kutokana na nguvu ipi, kwa sababu kama mtu amekuwa suspended, si huyo kesi yake iko mahali ingine. Labda kuna barua, bwana mwenyekiti utanielezea, labda kuna barua iliandikwa kwa county assembly haijatufikia kwamba hawa waliotajwa wakati ule na wakasimamishwa walirudishwa kazini, ndio bwana Pamphile alipata nguvu ya kuwawakilisha. Alafu pili, bwana mwenyekiti, hii imejitokeza wazi kwamba it's not a coincidence, ni kitu kiliketiwa kikaamuliwa kiende njia hiyo. Mimi sisi tuomba tu, sisi ni ndugu zenu, wengine hapa na watoto wangu. Hili jambo ni vizuri tulizungumze, tupate uwazi pale huko. Na nataka niwaambie ni kwamba kati ya county assembly na ile tunasema ya ICC, nafikiri county assembly inaweza kuwa na soft spot for you, uwaonee huruma kushika anti-corruption. Kwa hivyo wakati mnazidi kuficha ama kutupeleka hivi, hamtajisaidia. Ukiingia katika mtandao kuhusiana na hili jambo la misuse of funds za WW, hata hii nyumba imetukanwa. Tumeambia hata just toothless backing dogs kwa sababu hatuwezi fanya kitu. Na ni kweli ile perception imekuwa created kwamba MCA si wasomi, lakini tunashukuru nyinyi ni wasomi. Tuko hapa kusaidiana, hatuko hapa kuharibiana. We have a future. Nyinyi ni mali na mbegu ya Taita na Taveta, na vile mtakavyoipeleka, nafikiri bwana mwenyekiti, nataka niseme the fate is in their hands. Ni wao waamue tutaenda sawa ama tutaenda the other way. Asante mwenyekiti.
Honorable Shingira, take note. We'll be coming back to you. I'll be coming back to you to
Thank
give
you,
responses.
Chair. Thank you, Chair. Mr. Pamphile Mwakio, through the Chair, I feel that Mr. Pamphile Mwakio misled the whole group. Kwa sababu kama yeye ndo aliandika barua, akona advisor, legal advisor, you could consult legal advisor, ujue what is the way forward. But if you can just assume and just write a letter telling this assembly this and this, it's not right, Mr. Pamphile Mwakio. I think wendo unafaa kubeba huo msalaba wote. Thank you.
Minority leader, sorry.
Thank you, Ms. Deputy Speaker and the chair of this meeting. Thank you, Deputy Speaker. There is one common maxim, that when I read it in the Latin, ignorantia legis nemen executant. That means, simply English, ignorance of law excuses no one. Whether you know it or you don't know it, it is an obvious one. You cannot just commit something, then you go and say, I was not aware. That one is a lame excuse, and it is never entertained. Chair, or Mr. Speaker of this session, let us look at the replica of the Parliament, what is happening now. There is a lot of interrogation about the Makezi case. But yesterday, the Communication Authority, the CEO, was being interrogated by the Senate. There's issue of KEMSA. That issue is in the ICC. That is the IAC. But it is under investigation of the respective committees in the Parliament. There is issue now, the recent scandal of NHIF and so many things. Because these are two different organs of the House or arms of the government. So our arm is oversight. So by the letter to you, inviting you in these chambers to try to shed the light on the statement which was sought in this House, it was not about crucifying anybody. We are just doing our role, our oversight. The Constitution gave us that authority by Article 1. That gave us that authority on behalf of the people. So because the people outside there, they're asking a lot of questions. What we did is just us to exercise our mandate. So when I hear someone who have gone to school, who have papers, and then write a letter just we cannot because of just a minor, or not a minor, just a board is investigating, so we are barred from doing our work. It leaves me with so many questions, and that's why sometimes I hear at the Senate they ask themselves, which school did you attend? Which teacher taught you? So if I could be the same age mate with my brother he pamphlet, I could have asked you who was your lecturer, who taught you about critical thinking, if you did it, because it is a matter of critical thinking, it's not a matter of law. Now, with due respect, I'm not prejudicing you. It's just a question we're asking. You're aiding. Did you have maybe the share when you go as directed as we just ask about the content? So when maybe we go to that, we'll be asking what interest did you had by writing this letter? Maybe there is something you thought maybe when they come they'll expose you. We'll ask those questions. So thank you, Mr. Chair, but I'm just not knowing the people who are in the executive if they are really qualified. I think maybe the committee, maybe the PAC or the other committee, you'll direct us which committee. We'll ask their papers and we'll write to the body which verify the exact qualifications from the body that checks their qualification, and then we write to them and we send their papers to the right body which is mandated the Kenya, what verifies the Audisi. The legitimacy of the paper. Then they bring to us, we see if really these people, they were qualified to hold these offices. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Kimoyo, that is the final one. Then I direct.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, much has been said, and I don't need to add more because more has been said. Take its operation, the assembly is very powerful. We represent the fully, and much, and whatever you do,
We are the watchdog. We are the people who watch what you're doing. So I may call upon you to understand that as through the chair and the guidance from the chair and this house, that you need to understand that. And I think as you go back, you'll also have to understand what stands for this counter assembly. We've had a counter assembly that has no joke, that is here to serve the people of Taita Taveta County. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Shambi, the final one as I do the directions.
Thank you very much, Chair. My name is Peter Shambi. I just want to ask one question. The Constitution or the law somewhere gives the House the power to hold personal responsibility. Now the question is, when Mr. Pamphile was writing that letter, was he or are you aware of the consequences that might follow you as an individual? And the people that you are defending, the four guys that were also invited, were they aware of the consequences of them actually, individually, not responding or not, yes, actually not responding to come or not choosing to come to the assembly? Were you aware of the consequences and the repercussions of the action that you took then? Thank you.
Thank you. Over to you for response. We wrap up this sitting.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. And I want to be very careful with the words that I use, because I think the measure of intelligence will be put into task by this. So I want to say that I was not ignorant of the law. I was quite aware that the county assembly has powers to summon members, but I thought there was an alternative way of maybe communicating. Probably the only problem is that I never wrote the letter to the assembly reporting our, asking them to give us some effort, because time was also very limited, in the sense that the letter came a bit late towards the date of coming, and then during that very day we had a meeting. We were in a meeting with some investors from Israel, and my four colleagues who were called to appear before, and I think I would also try to respond to honorable member from Ngolia that I was not actually in the first summon to appear before the House, so I did not refuse to come because I was not summoned in the first place. But now, what I'm saying is, we were in a meeting with members, investors from Israel, and I was the coordinator. And at that time, my four colleagues had met, and they were deliberating on the matter that they were supposed to appear. But I want to say here that I was called, and when they shared with me about what they had agreed, and I also felt that it was possible that maybe would request that to wait until the investigation was made in full by the EACC. That was my feeling, which now turns out to be not the right way to go, and for which I've actually apologized earlier. That is what now made or formed the letter. One of the members, I think from Bololo, my brother, said that there are rumors going around. We want to say that rumors will always be made. and words will always be said, some maliciously, some public, and I think that is why you actually called us here, so that you can get it from us, and I still remember that we are under oath. There was a question also about whether I was aware about the repercussions. Yes, I was, but what I'm saying again, I want to go back to what I said, completed by EACC, then would now be able maybe to come with more or conclusive kind of a good ending, where now we don't, probably I feel that even after the report by the EACC, I still feel that maybe we might be required to come. I'm not sure, but if that happens again, I must say here that we are more than willing to appear. But, and I feel that maybe that one would have been a better way to wait until that report comes out, then would appear at once and maybe wind up the whole issue about the World War I. About consulting the attorney, the very day was the same day that we were supposed, our colleagues were supposed to be here before that. Were called, was supposed to be. I must say that we just discussed and we thought what we did was maybe the right way to go. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your letter here. So, were they released from service? Did they step aside? And are they back, or they are still stepping aside? Give us a response.
They were made to go on compulsory leave, and after the leave was over, then they came back.
Thank you, honorable members and our guests that have come today. Now the chair will want to give some directions before we adjourn for this sitting, and the chair directs as follows. That Tuesday next week, to be 27th of June 2023 at 10 a.m. all of you are set, you are hereby directed to appear before the whole House Committee of the County Assembly, and I so direct that the County Attorney should come alongside you for that appearance. So all those that received the invitation for today and in addition of the county attorney, should appear before the whole house committee on the 27th Tuesday of June 2023 at 10 a.m. The chair also directs that the county acting human resource manager to submit the following documents by Friday, 23rd of June 2023, 4 p.m. That is this Friday. Number one, the letter. Now that we've been told they were released and they are back, they're told to step aside and they are back. Like Madam Eunice Mchikirwa. The acting HR, county HR manager is directed to submit the following by Friday, 4 p.m., 23rd June 2023. Copies of Mr. Eunice Mchikirwa and Mr. Pamphile Moshinga. They are on compulsory leave. They are back. We would like to receive from the acting HR manager by close of business 4 p.m. Friday, 23rd June 2023, a comprehensive report and chronology of activities on the compulsory leave from release and return of Mr. Thomas Njuma